7 home exercises to strengthen your legs quickly. A study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology revealed something alarming. Starting at 50, we lose between 1% to 2% of muscle mass per year in our legs, and this loss accelerates after 60. The result? Difficulty getting up from chairs and climbing stairs, insecurity when walking, and dependence on other people. That's why today you'll see 7 home exercises capable of rapidly strengthening all the muscles in your legs after 50. And the best part is that you won't need any equipment besides the most important one of all, your own body. Stay attentive until the end, because nobody does number 4. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Exercise number 7, chair squat. This exercise intensely works the quadriceps, glutes, and core stabilizing muscles, being fundamental to maintain your independence in daily activities. When these muscles weaken, simple tasks like sitting and standing from sofas, using the bathroom, or getting in and out of the car become true challenges that steal your autonomy and self-esteem. The chair squat strengthens the entire anterior and posterior chain of the legs simultaneously, improving your functional capacity and drastically reducing the risk of falls. To execute it correctly, position yourself with your back to a sturdy chair, with your feet shoulder-width apart and slightly turned outward. Descend in a controlled manner as if you were going to sit, keeping the weight on your heels and chest lifted until your buttocks lightly touch the chair seat. At that moment, immediately return to the starting position by pushing through your heels without actually sitting completely. The secret is to maintain a controlled descent, taking about 3 seconds to go down and 2 to come up, always maintaining muscle contraction. Start by performing 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, resting 1 minute between each set. As you gain strength, gradually increase to 12 to 15 repetitions per set. The main mistakes to avoid are letting your knees excessively pass the line of your toes, leaning your trunk too far forward, losing core posture, and rising with momentum instead of using leg strength. Contraindications include acute knee or hip pain, severe joint instability, or recent history of surgery on the lower joints. If you feel any discomfort beyond normal muscle fatigue, stop immediately and consult a health professional. Exercise number 6, static march with knee elevation. The static march is an extraordinary exercise that strengthens the iliopsoas, quadriceps, and significantly improves your balance and motor coordination. When the hip flexor muscles weaken, you begin to drag your feet when walking, exponentially increasing the risk of trips and falls that can result in serious fractures. This simple but powerful exercise works exactly these muscles, improving your proprioception and the ability to lift your feet adequately during walking. To perform it, stand with your feet hip-width apart, keeping your hands on your waist or holding onto a wall or firm furniture for initial support. Lift one knee toward your chest, keeping your trunk erect and abdomen contracted as if you were marching in place. Alternate legs at a controlled pace, ensuring that each knee rises to hip height or as close to that as you can comfortably achieve. The movement should be deliberate, not fast, focusing on muscle contraction and balance control. Perform 3 sets of 20 to 30 alternating elevations, that is, 10 to 15 repetitions per leg. As you gain confidence, try to gradually release the support. The main mistakes include leaning the trunk backward when lifting the leg, swaying the body laterally during the movement, and lifting the knee with excessive speed, losing control. A valuable tip is to imagine that you're stepping on invisible steps, always keeping the core activated for stabilization. Contraindications include severe balance problems without supervision, intense pain in the hip or groin, and frequent dizziness. If you feel dizzy during the exercise, reduce the range of motion or go back to using support. Exercise number 5, step up. The step up is an exceptional functional exercise that perfectly replicates the movement of climbing stairs, intensely working glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, and stabilizing muscles. When these muscle groups weaken, climbing stairs becomes a frightening task that severely limits where you can go, making you avoid places with steps and losing social and leisure opportunities. This exercise strengthens exactly the movement pattern necessary to regain that freedom. To execute it, you'll need a stable step or box with a height between 6 and 10 inches, depending on your current level. Position yourself facing the step. Place one foot completely on it, ensuring that the entire heel is supported, and propel yourself upward using only the strength of that elevated leg. The secret is to avoid pushing with the leg that stayed below. It only accompanies the movement. Climb completely until you're standing on the step, then descend in a controlled manner with the same leg that went up leading the movement. The most common mistakes are using momentum from the bottom leg to go up, leaning the trunk excessively forward, and descending too fast without control. You'll know you're executing correctly when you feel the work concentrated in the leg that's on the step. Perform 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions per leg, alternating legs each set. Contraindications include serious balance problems, acute knee pain when climbing steps, and significant joint instability. If the movement seems too difficult initially, start with a lower step, even with the height of a thick book. Exercise number 4, pillow squeeze. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress healthily in the long term in the world of bodybuilding. This is the exercise that practically nobody does, but that offers extraordinary benefits for a frequently neglected region, the adductors, muscles of the inner thighs. When the adductors weaken, you lose lateral stability in your legs, which seriously compromises your balance when walking on irregular surfaces or when making direction changes. This drastically increases the risk of lateral falls, which are particularly dangerous because they can result in hip fractures. The pillow squeeze specifically strengthens these essential stabilizing muscles. To perform it, sit in a firm chair with your feet completely supported on the floor. Place a pillow or firm cushion between your knees. Keep your back straight and supported on the backrest. Then squeeze the pillow forcefully using your thighs, as if you wanted to bring them together completely. The movement is purely isometric. You maintain maximum contraction without visible movement. Concentrate on feeling the inner thigh muscles working intensely throughout the contraction. The main mistakes are leaning the trunk forward during the squeeze, holding your breath instead of maintaining natural breathing, and not applying maximum force thinking it's too easy an exercise. A valuable tip is to imagine that you're trying to crush the pillow between your legs, really applying all your force. Maintain each contraction for 15 to 20 seconds, rest 30 seconds, and repeat for 3 to 4 sets. As you get stronger, increase the contraction time to up to 30 seconds. Contraindications include acute groin pain, hip problems that cause discomfort when squeezing the legs, and recent surgeries in the pelvic region. This exercise is particularly valuable because it can be done even while watching television. Exercise number 3, glute bridge. The glute bridge is a fundamental exercise that works the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in the human body, in addition to the hamstring muscles and spinal erectors. When the glute weakens, your pelvis loses adequate stabilization, resulting in compensations that overload the lumbar region and cause those chronic back pains that bother so much. Additionally, weak glutes compromise your ability to lift objects from the floor safely and drastically reduce your power when walking. To execute the bridge, lie on your back on the floor on a mat or comfortable surface. Bend your knees, keeping your feet supported on the floor hip-width apart, and position your arms beside your body with palms facing down. From this position, push through your heels and lift your hip toward the ceiling until forming a straight line from knees to shoulders, strongly contracting the glutes at the top of the movement. Maintain this position for 2 seconds, feeling the maximum contraction, then descend in a controlled manner until almost touching the floor with your hip, without completely relaxing between repetitions. The secret is to really squeeze the glutes at the top, not just mechanically lift the hip. The main mistakes are excessively arching the lower back instead of using the glutes, pushing with the balls of the feet instead of the heels, and rising too fast without contracting. You'll know you're doing it correctly when you feel the glutes burning intensely, not the lower back. Perform 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, resting 45 seconds between each set. To progress, increase the contraction time at the top to up to 5 seconds. Contraindications include acute lower back pain that worsens with spinal extension, hip problems that cause pain when lifting, and difficulty lying down and getting up from the floor. If you feel lower back discomfort, reduce the range and focus more on glute contraction. Exercise number 2, calf raise. The calves are often called the second heart of the body, as they help pump blood from the legs back to the heart against gravity through their contractions. When the calves weaken, you lose this pumping function, which can result in ankle swelling, sensation of heavy and tired legs, in addition to seriously compromising your balance during walking. Strong calves are essential to avoid falls, as they control ankle movement on irregular terrain. To perform the calf raise, stand near a wall or firm furniture for light support, with feet hip-width apart and parallel to each other. Rise on your tiptoes as high as possible, intensely contracting the calves at the top. Hold for 1 second, then descend in a controlled manner until the heels almost touch the floor. The movement should be complete, using the entire available range for maximum muscle activation. A valuable tip is to perform the exercise on a step if possible, letting the heels descend below the level of the toes, as this significantly increases the range of motion and muscular work. Perform 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions, resting only 30 seconds between sets. For variation and complete work, occasionally perform sets with feet slightly turned outward and then inward, hitting different muscular portions. The main mistakes are performing the movement too fast, losing the contraction, not rising completely on tiptoes, and swaying the body using momentum. The calves have a predominance of slow twitch muscle fibers, so they respond better to longer sets with many repetitions. Contraindications include acute plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, and intense pain in the sole of the feet when standing on tiptoes. If you have balance problems, always maintain a firm support throughout the entire exercise. Exercise number 1, donkey kick. The donkey kick is an exceptional exercise that intensely works the glutes and hamstrings, in addition to requiring significant core stabilization. When the posterior chain of the legs weakens, you lose the ability for adequate hip extension, which impairs your gait, making you walk with short and dragging steps. This not only reduces your walking speed, but also increases the risk of trips. This exercise specifically strengthens this hip extension movement pattern. To execute it, position yourself on all fours on the floor on a mat, with hands directly below shoulders and knees below hips. Keep the spine neutral, abdomen contracted, and head aligned with the spine looking at the floor. From this position, lift one leg backward, keeping the knee bent at 90 degrees, as if you were pushing the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Lift until you feel strong contraction in the glute, without excessively arching the lower back. Hold for 1 second at the top, then return in a controlled manner to the starting position without touching the knee on the floor. The movement should be controlled and focused on glute contraction, not on the height you can lift. Perform 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per leg, alternating legs each set or completing all repetitions on one side before switching. The main mistakes are arching the lower back too much, compensating for lack of hip mobility, performing the movement too fast without control, and rotating the hip laterally instead of keeping the body stable. You'll know you're executing correctly when you feel the glutes burning intensely while keeping the lower back stable. Contraindications include lower back pain that worsens when extending the hip, wrist problems that make it difficult to support the weight, and acute knee pain when supporting it on the floor. If you have difficulty positioning yourself on the floor, this exercise can be adapted standing supported against a wall. Bonus exercise: walking on irregular terrain. After strengthening your legs with these 7 exercises indoors, it's fundamental that you also challenge your body in environments that really simulate everyday situations. Walking on irregular terrain is the perfect bonus exercise because it integrates everything you trained, taking your body to apply this strength functionally in real situations. This exercise works all leg muscles simultaneously, but what's most valuable is that it intensely develops your proprioception, dynamic balance, and ability to quickly adapt to different surfaces. When you walk only on flat and regular floors, your stabilizing muscles become lazy because they don't need to work. But on irregular terrain like grass, dirt, sand, or light trails, each step requires constant micro-adjustments that deeply strengthen all the small stabilizing muscles of the ankles, knees, and hips. The transfer to everyday life is extraordinary. You gain confidence to walk on broken sidewalks, step up curbs, walk on wet floors, and navigate different types of terrain without fear of falling. Start with walks of 10 to 15 minutes on flat lawns in parks, paying conscious attention to how your feet adapt to the terrain. As you gain confidence, progress to dirt paths with small irregularities. The most important thing is to maintain full attention during the entire walk, observing where you step and how your body responds. Avoid excessively rough terrain or with deep holes that could cause sprains. Perform this walk 2 to 3 times per week, always wearing appropriate footwear with good traction. Contraindications include severe balance problems without accompaniment, severe joint instability in the ankles, and frequent vertigo. If you live in an urban area without easy access to parks, even consciously walking on different sidewalk textures already offers benefits, as long as you're careful with holes and dangerous uneven surfaces. If you enjoyed this and want to also discover the effects that creatine really causes in your body after 50 years, we left a video appearing right now on the screen showing better each one of them. Don't fail to check it out. Thank you for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.